What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Bryant, and today I have a great interview in store for you guys. As you know, if you've listened before, I love getting the chance to talk with athletes from multiple backgrounds, and today I am making my way back into the college football scene. Joining me on the show today is a Bryant University tight end with an outstanding resume. Before coming to Smithfield, he was a two-time first-team All-League selection, as well as a Second Team All-Bergen County and Third Team All-North Jersey as a senior. Now he will enter his senior season as a Bryant Bulldog. On today's episode, we will discuss his journey as well as the future of the Bulldogs as they are set to join the Big South Conference for football this year. So without any further ado, hailing from Englewood, New Jersey, please welcome to the show, Jihad Edmond. Jihad, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I'm glad to have you on the show. Obviously, this isn't your first time using this podcast equipment. You know, last year we kind of got some experience with this. We had a class together on podcasting, so yep. It's glad to have you on, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just finishing up the semester. We're at that point where finals are about to get started. Football's on the break for right now until we get into summer workouts. So I'm healing right now.
Absolutely. I know you guys had your spring game, kind of that stuff throughout the spring. Yeah. How was that?
Spring game was good. It wasn't necessarily a spring game only because we didn't have the numbers necessarily for us to do a draft, have teams. So we basically did it in like a practice format where we just did schemes, we just did scenarios, play-by-plays, formation, just lined up and played, obviously.
Absolutely, man. So I mean, obviously, how's the team looking? I know you guys are, you guys will be losing some key guys, but going to next year, how do you guys feel?
We feel pretty good, actually. We're not losing a whole lot of people. I mean, besides Dan and some other little people, little fill-ins, we're not really losing a lot of people. We're bringing back the core of the team, so we're feeling pretty good. We're going into the summer. We're all going to be here. We're all going to be working. So it's going to be rolling over.
No, absolutely. I know you guys have a ton of youth on the team. You guys got a lot of returning members, which is great. Obviously, one of the guys that you did mention, Dan Adeboye, he unfortunately will not be there. He actually just got drafted by the Toronto Argonauts in the second round this year. He was a key piece for you guys' team. How do you feel about him, just in general?
Dan was here when I first got here. Honestly, he was not my host, but he was around my host. So I knew Dan as soon as I touched down on Bryant. So Dan was a great leader. He was a great member of this football team. He taught me a lot in terms of just like work ethic, just getting to it, getting what you want. Him and also Michael and Draco, offensive tackle. He's hopefully gets an opportunity in the near future. But those two have really, paved the way in terms of leadership and how work is supposed to be done. So I appreciate them for all that they brought to the football team, all the knowledge that they bestowed upon me. And, the future is the best for them right now.
Absolutely, man. They are some fantastic guys. And, I'd love to get the chance to talk with them someday as well. But, getting into yourself, man, obviously, athletics comes to, in different sports comes to different people at a certain age. And, everyone has their story of how they got their start. How did you really get involved with football at a young age? Who got you involved?
My parents got me involved, man. My mother and my father primarily. I didn't really want to play football, man. I was on the verge of almost quitting football.
What do you want to play instead?
I didn't want to play anything. Really? I was really like a misunderstood kid. I didn't really have any friends at the time. So my parents thought football would be a way to, get me outside, get me talking to people, get me interacting with people. So I took that approach to football. I didn't really think about it being any type of benefit towards me in the future until middle school and, trailing into high school when I actually saw I had talent. But my parents, man, I was on the verge of quitting, and my dad was like, you got to make a decision right now. You got people over there that want you to play, that want you to win with them. It's either you got to make a decision right now. So at an early age, decision making was big for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a huge decision you got to make. It's just like it's like, man, like I don't know, like there's a certain point where you can make the decision to leave for a year and come back. I know, I didn't end up going on to college for sports, but I mean, I remember being in like fifth grade and I was like, man, I don't like playing baseball. I'm going to quit for a year. And then I came back to it, and you do something like that. But obviously that's a lot of pressure to say to a kid, hey, there are people that want you. What do you want to do? What ultimately made you decide to come back and, stick with it?
The environment, man. When I'm from, like you said, Englewood, New Jersey, And when I played junior football, it was a winning environment. We won championships. We were a powerhouse. And then, those people that was around, George Garrison, he's graduating right now from Howard University. Malachi McFadden, I think he's at A&T. He was just at Merrimack. We had a whole bunch of all-stars who went to go play college. Jawan Winfrey plays for the Green Bay Packers right now.
Yeah.
He's from Englewood, New Jersey. He went through the program. So it's a lot of talent that comes out of Englewood, New Jersey. So just that environment, just that mentality, that Raider pride, that's what we call it. That's what ultimately kept me, and that's what made me stay.
That's awesome, man. I mean, who were some probably, obviously we discussed the impact of your parents and how great they were for you getting involved with football. Once you're entrenched in it though, who are some, coaches or mentors that, really helped you elevate to the level you're
Absolutely. My junior coach, who ultimately turned into my high school coach, Coach Joseph Hoyle. He was the man.
Yeah.
He's the man. Oh my God. He just made sure I didn't quit on myself. He just made sure I had a strong head on me. He made sure that I worked hard. And another person who people may not even, think about when they're playing junior football is the mother who was taking care of all of us. She was doing the water and everything. Miss Donella. She's like my second mother at this point, but she was taking care of us. So she was one of the other reasons why I didn't quit. When I came back, she was like, you weren't leaving, right? Like, it's either you want to make the decision to come back or I was going to come to your house and come get you. So it was like, just that.
You said one of the mothers. Was she a mother of one of the players?
She was the mother of one of the players, Xavier, one of my best friends. She
awesome.
was his mother. But then at the end of the day, she was everybody's mother.
Oh, that's awesome.
So just having that family environment of people who didn't want to see you quit, who wanted to see you succeed, that's what kept me there. That's what allowed me to stay.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, you go through the ranks, you get to a certain point, and like you said, like you start at a certain point, you started realizing you have talent, and you said that was kind of around middle school, high school age. For some kids, I've talked with a kid that got drafted by the Chicago White Sox, and I said to him, "Hey, when did you realize that you probably had the ability to, to play at the next level?" And he goes, "Well, I was 9 years old and I hit a home run out of the field by like 100 feet." And my dad looks at me and goes, "Yeah, this kid might be something." and then I know other kids where, they struggled for a long, long time and then just something clicked with them and they just took off. For you, when did you realize you were good enough to play at the Division I level?
It was tough for me because I struggled a lot with what I wanted to be position wise. I was always, when I was in the junior Raiders, I was short, pudgy.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman, D tackle, DN. When I got into middle school and high school, my coaches wanted me to be strictly a DN, and I played some offensive line too because we didn't have the numbers at the point. But towards my junior and senior year, I really recognized, sophomore probably too, I really recognized that I wanted to play at the Division I level just because I saw the people that were around me. I saw the talent that was around me. And I said to myself, why can't I be in that position,
Yeah.
And then I saw coaches coming around, checking out some of my older peers and them talking to me, them taking notice to me and them saying, just keep on working at this, keep on working at that, and we'll be back for you at some time. So just having that mentality, having those people come back, talk to me, that's what I really recognize. So I say like junior year.
Yeah. Was there just a jump in talent when you end up saying like, oh, like, I mean, it's not a matter, like, it's a matter of it being like, okay, like, why not me? But, was there just like also a jump in production where you ended up saying like, shoot, like I might be able to go on and do this?
I'd say about like, my like junior year, sophomore year.
Yeah.
Sophomore, junior year when I was actually playing a little bit tight and a little bit of slot, actually catching some balls, actually getting downfield, when I had my opportunity. So that's been my motto my whole life. When you get your opportunity, you better make it count.
Absolutely.
So every time I got my opportunity, I tried to make it go. I tried to make it go.
Yeah.
Whether it was a 3-yard catch, I would take it 10 yards after that, just to make myself look more marketable.
Mm-hmm.
So just things like that, just made me want to push myself.
No, man. I mean, that you describing that is actually very evident of something that you've mentioned before. It's of your play on the field, at least. I mean, I think I saw a highlight of you on your Instagram where, you catch this. It might have honestly been a screen pass. And I think you take it 10 yards up the field. Yeah. You're shaking some defenders and, you're just a beast out there. So you're just going right through these guys. I mean, that really does describe your play style. for you though, obviously you're thinking you can play at this next level. What made you though end up saying, all right, I'm, a kid from New Jersey, getting these offers. What made you end up saying, all right, of all the places that I could go, I'm going to go to this small school in Smithfield, Rhode Island? What made Bryant stick out to you?
Well, Bryant actually offered me my junior year. Bryant was my first offer.
Okay.
And I had an older brother, I should say, not blood brother, but he was close to the family that went to Bryant.
Yeah.
Chucky Wingate.
Yeah.
So he was a captain here. He played with Coach Keese, Marquise Watson. So I knew Keese for a minute too. So just the family aspect, I already knew people who came down to Bryant. I knew the atmosphere that was at Bryant already. So I said, when I came down here for my official, I saw everything. I didn't really want to go to a big school.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't my thing. I didn't really want to be a number in a classroom. I wanted people to know me. I wanted to be personable with my professors and everybody. So I said Bryant was the perfect opportunity for me to excel in both aspects of life, academically and athletically.
No, man, I know. Absolutely. Like that is something that just is very true about Bryant. Like you go to some of these bigger schools and, you'll never meet your professor. Absolutely. And, like you just sit in the back of this giant lecture hall, like there's this guy at the front of the room, just, clicking through a slideshow. And then you have to go and just talk to TAs, and that's your entire college experience.
Exactly.
And
I didn't want it to just be a number.
No. And I mean, not only just an athlete here, I know you're very involved with, on campus as well. I know you're on the e-board for woke athletes here. I know you're, very involved in other ways. How important was it for you to get involved, in other ways than just athletics here?
I take myself being a student athlete. Like when you say that, I really want it to mean something.
Yeah.
When you talk about being a student athlete, I want to excel in both parts. So me doing things just outside of football, outside of academics. I mean, I want people to know me for somebody who doesn't just play football, who doesn't just excel in football, and who doesn't just do bare minimum or what he needs to do in the classroom. I want to be more than that. I want to be remembered as somebody who really wanted to make change at Bryant, who really took this step to, better himself at Bryant University.
And then also racked in a couple touchdowns.
And then, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. So, you're here now. You've had an amazing, 3 years here. What has probably been your favorite, memory as a Bulldog so far?
That's a tough one. My favorite memory as a Bulldog.
I mean, you could have a couple that you want to talk about.
I could have a couple. I mean, our St. Francis win last season was a big one for me. That's probably up there somewhere. My first touchdown against LIU in 2019, that was big because I was on ESPN, so everybody in my family saw that one. That's definitely up there. Yeah, so I probably say the St. Francis one though, because we were. Oh my God!
So you talking about the one like from this past fall?
Yeah, when Dan called the touchdown in the corner of the end zone and we won.
Yeah, that was the one on. It was on Family and Friends weekend.
Yeah, because we had a terrible game.
Yeah,
it was a terrible game by the offense.
I remember that game, man. I was in the parking lot. It was Family and Friends weekend, and we're all going into the football game, and obviously it's not like the homecoming where you have the entire school here, but you got got a good crowd here. You got the tailgate going, and it was like, all right, yeah, let's go into the game, check it out. And it just didn't look good for you guys all of a sudden. And then I see you guys, I see Dan, I see Zevi, all come together, and you guys put on an incredible comeback. And that was a fantastic game to be at.
Credit to those guys, though. Credit to those guys, 100%. Those guys really put in the work. But honestly, beating Brown and Coach Perry's staff had to be my best memory. I'm putting that out there right now because Coach Perry recruited me initially. He was the one that actually sent me the offer and all that, came to my house, he ate dinner and everything before Coach Meriden came in. And then the week before or the week after I committed, he went to Brown. Oh. So I took that really personally, and I waited for that matchup. Oh my gee. And then when we beat them, we made sure that they heard us.
That's awesome. It was
electric.
Man. Oh, that is awesome. I mean, that's got to be tough though. I mean, he leaves a week after.
It was sick. God. It was sick. Because I didn't know what the future held.
Yeah.
I had coaches calling me, telling me, it had to be, I know Coach Marino, we had a phone call. He said, if you don't accept this scholarship now, nobody knows what will happen in the future. They could just rip your scholarship away from you. So being in high school, a senior, and then, wanting to make the decision now, that type of pressure on you was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But, Coach Merritt has been a blessing in my life ever since I met the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've only heard good things about him. Obviously, you work with it's Coach Jana. Is it Shalawa? I was not going to get that. There is no way I was going to pronounce that correctly. I was going to have. Oh my God,
Coach S. Coach S.
Easy, just Coach S.
Yeah,
perfect. No, so obviously, how impactful have they been, in your time here, kind of, helping your development?
Just allowing me to see the game a different way. I've worked with a lot of people outside of, our coaches here, and they just, they're really entwined and they're really into the game. Coach Merritt sees this game a whole different way. Coach S sees the game a totally different way. And looking at their perspectives from grown men who see football, who've been through football all their lives, allowing myself to learn through them and using 2 ears instead of my mouth, that's been a blessing for me ever since I got in here. I feel like I've learned the game way better than I would have anywhere else.
Yeah.
I do my job way better than I would anywhere else because of Coach S, and then Coach Merritt is just there to support me throughout the way.
When you said see the game in a different way, that's actually something I've interviewed a couple football players on this show before, and that's something they've reiterated to me like more than one time, whereas they end up saying, yeah, you're in high school and you just see football in, a very simple way. And then you come to college and you come here and it's just completely different. And then, I've talked to a couple of guys that have, that know some people in the pros. And then they basically said, yeah, then you go to there and it's like a completely new game. What changed for you when you talk about that? What really changed?
Well, it was different. It was kind of different for me because coming from high school, I was thrown into the lines. And I mean, my first game was against Stony Brook. Just coming out of camp, I actually played in the Stony Brook games. I had a couple of snaps, and the speed of the game was just, it was intense.
Yeah,
it was intense. And then I had me being 19, going against kids who were 23, 24. It was intense. It was fast.
Yeah.
So me seeing the game is me being able to know what's happening, see certain coverages, and me allowing myself to just slow the game down and actually play my game. So that's what Coach Hess and Coach Merritt instilled in me and have helped me with when it comes down to football.
Yeah. I mean, obviously those coaches are incredible. I mean, I will talk about another coach in just a second, but for just, working in terms of that in general, you talked about the speed just being on a completely new level. How did you end up adjusting to that? How long did it take you to really be like, okay, I now have to play at this level? And, when did it snap? And when did you kind of understand, okay, this is what this game demands of me now? When did you finally come together?
Still my freshman year, it kind of came together. I mean, I had a great leader, Hayden Panagos, but unfortunately he went down.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, I believe, or later on in the season. So I had to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Coach S put that trust in me to go in the games and play, and gave me more minutes, gave me more snaps. So I had to really grow up fast, as they say, I had to grow up really fast. So I feel like it slowed down for me. I say end of the freshman year, sophomore year, because I was in that spot now my sophomore year. So the game had to slow down for me and I had to play at a different level.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I would say around that time.
Yeah. So obviously I was hinting at it was, you're talking about Coach Merritt, Coach S. Another coach that's been very impactful for you guys is Coach Buckley, Craig Buckley. I know you guys refer to him as Coach Buck. He's your guys' core strength and conditioning guy. I started following him on Instagram. I mean, this guy is insane. His workout plans. I mean, he does the Spartan races and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. So obviously he's been great for you guys' program. He announced though that after, I believe it's 10 plus years with the program, 15 years. I mean, he's going to be taken off now. He's not going to be with the program anymore. Obviously how much is he going to be missed around here?
He's going to be missed a lot, not even just by the football team, but by every sports organization on this campus, because he deals with all of them.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is some of, maybe these bigger universities, you'd have you'd have a football guy. You might even have 3 or 4 different guys for football at some of these bigger schools. And then you got, a guy for field hockey and a guy for volleyball and a guy for baseball. Coach Buck pretty much handles all of the strength and conditioning for every single team. So from what I've heard, he's entrenched with all of you guys.
Absolutely.
How impactful has he been just for you guys' development?
I mean, just the motivation aspect and seeing what you can be.
Yeah.
Coach Buck just puts the plan in front of you and you execute the plan because you want it. Like he makes you want it. And then you just want it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When I first came in here, I saw everybody built up. I saw everybody, jacked up, and I'm a wet 225, skinny. And then I'm like, how am I going to look this strong? How am I going to look this big? Coach Buck puts the plan in front of you. He helps you out if you need it. He pushes you, and just his presence at football games, at basketball games, it takes a different type of man to really put a lot of, not pressure, but his presence is just felt throughout every sports team.
I mean, as someone who isn't an athlete here, I actually can feel his presence. I mean, you go into those basketball games and, they were cutting down the net at the end, and he gets his chance to go down there and take his piece of the net, and literally the gym erupts for him. And, obviously you're going to have those star players, after the NEC championship where, guys like Peter Kiss, guys like Charles Pride, they're going to get their props, but, and then again, like Coach Grosso and guys like that.
Yes,
but yeah, absolutely. They balled out in that game. And then Coach Buck gets up on the ladder, and you just see, you see obviously all you guys, and then, a bunch of non-athletes as well, who just respect what this man has done for this program. They're giving him his props. I mean, he is going to be missed heavily here.
Absolutely. He put his heart and soul into Bryant University for 15 years, and he's given everything to him. We wish him all the best at the University of Wisconsin. So
yeah,
he's been a blessing ever since I got here. It's sad to see him go before I go. I'm a little selfish when it comes down to that, but he's doing what's best for him, and I know he's always around. I know he's always in my phone.
I mean, man, he got the Wisconsin job. That's incredible, man.
That's incredible, man. Yeah. You can't give something like that up,
no,
especially for your family. Like, come on,
no, man, that's a life-changing experience. I mean, obviously, he is, he'll be heavily missed here, but those guys will be getting a great addition out there, which is awesome for them. Kind of going forward though, obviously he's helped elevate you guys to this level. You talked about the speed of adjusting to college football life. That was at the NEC. Now next year you're going to the Big South. Obviously, in all other athletics, we're going over to the America East Conference. Mm-hmm. America East does not have football, so you guys will be going to the Big South Conference as part of we shift conferences there. Obviously, it's a step up in competition. You guys are going to be facing teams like Kennesaw State, Monmouth, NCAA, like as you mentioned, one of your friends went to. It's a significant jump in competition. You guys are going to be facing some teams from down south, which obviously have the track record of usually just being tougher, faster, better just in general. How do you guys feel like you're going to match up against them?
We have no problem.
Yeah,
we have no issue.
Really,
we work to win. We expect to win. Mm-hmm. I know Kennesaw State and Monmouth are leaving though, but there's still teams in there. They're still up in competition. Yeah. But so we're ready.
Yes, but just in terms of talking about overall talent though, like these Absolutely. Are the types of teams that are there, and still NCAA, you still got Robert Morris, Charleston Southern, Northampton.
Oh, we can't wait for that Robert Morris game. Let me tell you right now, we can't wait for that one to come back.
There's some Robert Morris. That's always fun.
there's still some bad blood there with Robert Morris.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I know they used to have a run in the NEC as well.
Yeah, so they beat us our last game that we played in my freshman year, which we should have won that game. But there's some bad blood there, so we're going to get that one back.
Love to see it. All right, hopefully you guys do get a chance to run it back and do well against them. Obviously, kind of as you move forward, you're entering your senior season this year, which has it flown by?
It goes fast.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely does go fast.
I mean, as a student, I can, as just a regular old student, I can definitely say it goes fast. So when you probably put in just like, being an athlete and, having all those extracurriculars that you're a part of, you're involved with this stuff, constantly, I can only imagine that it's going to go even faster. Yeah. So it probably has been very surreal for you. If you could go back and talk to your freshman self and give them one bit of information, like one piece of advice to, take into through this Bryant experience, what would it be?
Not to say that I didn't do this, but maintain being your authentic self. Don't feel like you have to change for anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest advice I would give myself, and just work for what you want. And the work that you put in, expect to get those results from the work that you put in. When it comes down to it, you gotta work for what you want, right?
Absolutely.
And you're gonna get the results from the work that you put in.
Yeah.
If you don't want it, you're not gonna get it. If you want it, you're gonna get it, but you gotta work a little extra harder for it.
Yeah.
I probably just say to myself, just work, and then the results will show. And then whatever you want in the future, it'll come. But put in the work now, and then the future is bright. It's very bright right now.
Absolutely, man. I got a couple more questions before we do wrap this thing up.
Absolutely.
One of the things I've wondered is, you mentioned, a theme that you mentioned earlier on the show was, figuring out, your place in football and trying to figure out where you wanted to be, and, maybe some doubts early on. What were some, I don't know if that would possibly be your biggest obstacle, but if it isn't, what was your biggest obstacle, coming up through athletics, and how did you end up overcoming it?
I feel like my biggest obstacle was, being away from my family.
Yeah.
Coming down to Bryant, it was a big.
Because how far is Englewood from here?
It's about 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's not that far. Like it's far away enough from home, but it's close enough to where you could still go home.
I mean, yeah, no, so you can go home, but man, like I don't know, man. 3-4 hours, I think I'd be kind of like losing it myself. I mean, I live 25 minutes from here. Like I live close, so that's crazy, dude. So
yeah, earlier, I mean, it wasn't that crazy. My mother just had 2 kids, so I have 2 younger brothers, one 5 and another one is 1.
That's awesome.
So just being away from them for a long amount of time, it's hard sometimes. So I definitely say the whole mental health aspect of being away from the family was probably my hardest obstacle. But my family here has made it so easy for me to overcome that challenge. It's been a blessing, but that's probably my biggest obstacle.
You want to get them into football as well?
Absolutely. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I want them to wait before they make that decision, and they have to make that decision for themselves.
Makes sense.
I don't want Big Brother to put any pressure on them making that decision, or the city of people who know Big Brother and what Big Brother did, for them to put any pressure on my little brothers. No.
Makes sense. I mean, listen, you said they're 5-1. They got time.
They got time. They got time.
I mean, that's kind of the most time.
The 5-year-old is already starting to show signs. So it's like,
That's the thing, though. There's some little kids that like you just see them do some stuff, and it's freakish.
It's freakish.
It's like I don't know. I work at a summer camp, at least, for the past couple of years I used to. And, you'll see some like 8, 9, 10-year-olds that just do some stuff, and going like, how the hell
it's crazy
doing that?
It's crazy.
They'll be just nailing like 3-point shots, like from just on like from the high school court. And I'm just like, really? I'm just like, I can't even do that. Sometimes I suck. So I'm just like, how do they even do that? But that's awesome, man. So obviously, we discussed the future of the team going forward. I kind of want to talk about the future of you. Obviously, you seem to be really involved on campus. You seem to have other ideas outside football. I ask this question to anyone, regardless of whether you make it to the heights of the NFL, or I've interviewed high school athletes as well, and they've been done after then. I mean, I'll ask it, guys, that I'll ask this question to anybody. For you, when you eventually do end up hanging up the cleats, and eventually do say, all right, this is it, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do once football is over?
That's a great question, man. And I think Bryant University has made that question a little easier for me. So I've been involved in a sales program this semester for a minute with Professor Boyer. So I've been networking with a lot of great people thanks to her. So I don't really know, man. That's God's plan. Probably something in the sales world. I've been making a little bit of noise when it comes down to that, and it's been a fun experience for me. And sales is a lot of money in sales. So I don't want to go where the money is. I'm not doing any coaching or anything like that. I I can't. My coaches don't even want me to coach. It's
a time. Why is that?
It's a time consuming thing. Yeah. It takes time. It takes you away from your family sometimes.
Would you coach for your brothers?
Yeah. Yeah. Just so I could give them some, some knowledge, some insight, some tips. But yes, something in the sales world right now, or the marketing agency side of the game. I always said to myself, if I wasn't going to be in the game, I still wanted to be a part of the game somehow, some way. So I talked to a very great woman right now who handles some athletes and people in the entertainment business. So she handles their charitable cases, their endorsements, advertisement, things like that. So something in the marketing agency side, representing athletes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's awesome to hear. Obviously, next year you got this senior season coming up. Are you going to be living on campus through the summer? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I'll be on campus June, July, all the way going into camp.
Okay.
This is that year that I'm locking in. I was doing it last year too, the year before that, but this year I just want to focus on straight football, go football straight through the year, and really see where it takes me, because the ultimate goal is to go to the NFL. That's my ultimate goal right now. That's the star that I'm reaching, and I know with my abilities that I could do it. So that's the goal right now. But yeah, I'm focusing straight on football for the whole year of 2022, 23, 24, until we get to that until we get to that mountaintop, baby.
Yeah. Is there any particular milestone that you want to hit this year?
I want to get over 500 yards in the season, double my catches. I need about 10 pancakes, probably more than that. I need to put some more guys on their back paws.
I mean, 500 yards, you'd have to more than double last year's total.
Yeah, I have to more than double everything.
Yeah.
I need to be looked at as more receiver on our team,
and less of
a blocker. Yeah, more of a. I need people to see that I could do both.
Yeah,
I need to be more marketable in both those categories. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make myself look like the all around player. And then another milestone, I feel like I was gypped last year for the NEC, the all NEC thing, the all NEC team.
Oh yeah,
my numbers look better than one of the guys, but we're not going to talk about that.
We don't need to talk about.
We don't need to talk about that. But I just want to be recognized in one of those situations. If it's the Big South, I'll probably be the best tight end in that situation. That's where my head's at right now, and that's what I'm working for. Yeah. But the proof is in the pudding. So the work that I'm putting in this summer over camp and into the season will show. So, that's my goal right now. And then, win a championship with my team. That's the biggest goal. Those guys put in the ultimate amount of work. So I just want to bless them with the work that I put in, give them my all, give them my blood, sweat, and tears. And hopefully that comes out in the championship, because we definitely have the guys to do it.
Absolutely. Jihad, I wish you the best of luck next year. I hope that you excel in everything, and, you get that opportunity. It's been great talking with you, man, but unfortunately we are now down to the wire, which means that we're going to wrap up what we talked about in this episode and send all you beautiful people listening out into the weekend. Obviously, we welcomed on Mr. Jihad Edmond, tight end for the Bryant Bulldogs, to discuss his football career, as well as Bryant's move to the Big South Conference, the impact of Coach Craig Buckley, who will be leaving the team after this season, and more. Jihad, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Ross.
I really appreciate it.
It was a great experience, man. I love it. I can't wait to be back, hopefully.
If you want to come back on whenever, man, 100%, you're more than welcome back on this show. So it was a great opportunity speaking with him today. Obviously, love to get the chance to talk with athletes. I kind of do a little bit of both. I'll do some, athlete interviews, and then I'll do some general sports talk where I talk about, just the latest news around NFL, NBA, MLB, whatnot. So obviously it's great to have that on. If you're ever interested in doing something of that nature as well, be more than willing to have you on for something like that. So it's been a great episode. But before we do go, if you aren't falling down to the wire at this point, what are you guys doing? We are available everywhere you guys can find podcasts, whether that be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also watch the video stream to this show on YouTube, and you can find all of the links to it in our Instagram, in the link in our bio. And our Instagram obviously is at down.to-the-wire. Again, at down.to-the-wire on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. And from Down to the Wire, I'm Bryant Costa.
And I'm Jihad Edmond.
And we hope you guys have a great day. Take care and peace out.